He was spotted in the gallery grimacing at something one of the MPs had said, and they responded with a volley of abuse. He should, perhaps, have learnt a lesson from his fellow consort, Prince Albert, whose struggles for a purpose provided a rich seam of drama in Victoria Sunday, ITV. Interestingly, for a second series bearing the name of until recently our longest reigning monarch, the finale was more to do with all the people who were not Her Majesty the Queen. As ever, Prince Albert Tom Hughes found himself outfoxed as a father by Baroness Les Daniela Holtz and devoted himself to matters political. ITV's finale was more to do with all the people who were not Her Majesty the Queen. Even the final scene of the episode was stolen away from Victoria by a Shetland pony, but his presence in the House at the watershed free trade debate just drew jeers and catcalls, doing no service to Prime Minister Sir Robert Peel. Nigel Lindsay. Meanwhile, as he was on the brink of proposing to Harriet Margaret Clooney, Ernest David Oakes made a terrible discovery. More to the point, his valet discovered it while Ernest was getting out of the bath. Mercury vapors might have suppressed the symptoms of syphilis, but it had not gone away. To add to the doom, Lord Alfred Jordan Waller was on the brink of acknowledging his love for Drummond Leo Souter when Drummond took a fatal bullet aimed at his boss, the Prime Minister. Saturday, July 1, 2017. Top of the Lake. BBC Two. Late July, early August. 4 long years after the first series aired, this eerie cop drama from Australian director Jane Campion returns, and Princess Vicky nearly died of a fever because Lezen insisted on leaving windows open. In the midst of this, our sovereign monarch Jenna Coleman managed to worry about Vicky, fight with Albert, and not do an awful lot else, apart from sacking Lezen towards the end. Even the final scene of the episode was stolen away from her by a Shetland pony called Herbert. We do, of course, look forward to another series of Victoria, hopefully with some Victoria in it. If you have watched many cop dramas, you will know that drugs, sex and money lie behind most of the shabbiest human deeds. BBC Louis Theroux Dark States Sunday, BBC Two. But Louis Theroux Dark States Sunday, BBC Two uncovered another drive, perhaps stronger and more destructive. On the mean streets of Houston, Texas, he found the world's saddest, oldest industry still thriving, even booming, thanks to the internet and smartphones. Spending time with the women who sold sex, usually under the coercive protection of a male pimp, Louis found there were few clear-cut answers. Nikki seemed to loathe and fear her pimp, a man known by the street name Trouble. At the same time, she said he had saved her from physical and mental dangers. She admitted Trouble was violent, but what use was a gentle pimp in a hostel for women trying to escape the trade? Tanisha had entangled herself even more deeply in a strange triangle between her jailed, violent pimp, her roommate, and one of her former clients. When she started to speak bravely about a past scarred by abuse, it began to make sense, but not in a good way. The strongest drive for her, as for many of the women Louis met, was not drugs or money but the need to be needed. They felt so worthless they confused violence and control for care. They came across as complex victims, but it was less clear what drove men to become pimps. Louis' only chat with one, a jailed braggart sliding a toothpick in and out of his mouth, revealed little except greed and contempt for women.